My name's Brad Kirby. I live in Lincoln, California, and I'm an attorney by trade. Got a big family, got 6 kids. For fun, we mostly do all kinds of outdoors things.
Hi there, Chad.
Hi, Chad.
Nice to meet you.
One of the 3 Chads in this outfit right now.
Yeah.
Was cruising the various outdoor and hunting channels on TV one day and ran across Sportsman of North America.
Welcome to Sportsman of North America. Your ticket to the outdoors.
Those county streets, grab your boat or fishing pole and take a ride with me. We're headed to a place
Join Mike McCabe,
good old boys can roam. We're leaving behind all the dirt and crime from the cities we call home. Yeah, join me today and together we'll say, let's grab our gear and go to the waters and the land that we understand.
Ray Howell,
Second home. Sportsman of North America. Can you hear the call? Oh, yeah. We tip our hat to the great outdoors and the God above.
SNA founder Keith Powell,
Don't need a ticket. We don't stand in no lines. Just hanging with our friends. We be there. Woo!
and weekly winners just like you.
Where the good times.
Get ready, because it's time for Sportsman of North America. It's time for this week's Winner's Spotlight, where we showcase SNA members on the adventures of a lifetime that they've won from Sportsman of North America. Winner Brad Kirby is in Indiana with Sprague Outfitters and Sportsman of North America, ready to hunt some whitetail.
So on the recommendation of the show and the host on the show, I took a look at the website and decided I wanted to join and joined. And not too long after I joined, I received a phone call from the staff at Sportsman of North America and was informed that I had actually been the recipient of one of the weekly hunts and was ecstatic to have that happen. Never expected it to happen, hoped that it would. Looked like the odds were pretty good, and worked out for me. I was pretty excited to find out that I'd won a whitetail hunt because, frankly, while I've been hunting all my life and have had the opportunity to hunt all over the West, and had actually hunted a few times outside of the country as well. I'd never had an opportunity to hunt whitetail deer before, and obviously that's a predominant form of hunting that people in the U.S. do, and I hadn't experienced it, and frankly don't believe necessarily that I would have pursued it anytime soon. All right, we're here on November 7th. It's day 1 of our hunt. It was interesting as the sun came up to see what kind of terrain we were going to be hunting in. And obviously that was a new experience for me, having not hunted whitetail before. And immediately we were into bucks, and it only got better as the week progressed. So on day 2 of our hunt in Indiana, we went into a different stand setup, and again we started seeing bucks right away. Unfortunately, it wasn't a buck that I wanted to take, but it was interesting to see how they responded to the calling. Pretty nice buck, just not quite big enough to shoot, particularly on day 2. Shortly thereafter, we saw what I determined, at least for me as a first-time whitetail hunter, to be a shooter buck, and it was a 10-point buck, and he was over basically putting on the feed bag, and he was across the flat from us, about the same spot that we'd seen the other smaller buck. It got hung up at 52 yards and then immediately basically turned 90 degrees and started walking away. We started calling to it. First he didn't want anything to do with it. Finally started to come in a little bit. Called him over with the grunt call. Came into about 52 yards. And he turned and walked away. So the next day, we went to yet another stand, and once again, we were in the bucks. I leaned forward into the tree in an effort to expose the vitals on the deer, and about the time I did that, the deer decided to whirl and take off, and I prematurely, and I'm going to say unintentionally, punched the trigger on my release, and the result of that was what I tend to refer to as the archery hunter's walk of shame.
I got hung up in my strap. And the result of that was a clean miss. And I guess that'll give us an opportunity to chase an even bigger one this afternoon.
So we get to day 5, and obviously I'm anxious after having made a mess out of my day 4. And it got to be about 8:30 in the morning, and while it had been slow, we saw a deer approaching, basically coming from the same direction of the deer from the day before. Once again, I grabbed my bow and got ready to shoot, and was thinking about not repeating the mistakes of the previous day, and took a look at the deer and realized that it was a really, really nice deer. And unfortunately, that deer came to within 27 yards and hung up just a little bit, but unfortunately was in some cover that I wasn't able to find a shot through, and it hesitated just momentarily, and then, like several other deer we'd seen, just turned 90 degrees and left the country. That was the last we saw of that deer. So if you're not currently a member of Sportsmen of North America, I think that without any qualification whatsoever, I can recommend that you go ahead and sign up and become a member. You know, for me, Sportsmen of North America was my ticket to the outdoors, and Sportsmen of North America can be your ticket to the outdoors as well.
And we'll be right back. Sportsman of North America is brought to you by Hard Rifles, Hunter's Safety System, Lacrosse Boots, Kicking Bear, Sportsman's Hunting Gear, Scentlock, Boss Buck, Downwind Scents, World Series of Whitetails, Diamond Archery, Gaddis and Gaddis, and Can Cooker. Sportsman of North America Hunting Club is the only online hunting community that gives away a hunt each and every week to our members. If you want to go on one of these exciting hunts, it's only a mouse click away at www.sportsmanna.com. Mike McCabe is up next, talking about his 2010 whitetail season.
This was the first year in 23 years that I didn't get to put a tag on an Ohio buck, and that's for me, it's pretty unusual. I was kind of choked about that. But the consolation, I got to share a hunt with a young man called Cameron Taylor. I met him at a physically challenged Bow Hunters of America banquet, and I invited him to come and hunt with me.
I understand that you want to take up hunting. Is that right? Well, how about you coming to my place in Ohio and letting me take you out and hunt? Deal?
Cameron had already had one of his legs removed, and he was fighting bone cancer.
See you later.
So
we go hunt.
if I didn't shoot a deer that year, so be it. You know, I got to take that young man out, fulfill his dream. He'd never shot a deer in his life.
It's crossing his right behind his shoulder. That's right. Just that. Right behind his shoulder and squeeze on the shoulder. You ready? Get ready to shoot. Put your finger on the trigger. Squeeze it off really gently. Perfect. You aced him. That is a perfect shot. That is a perfect shot, my man. Good job. Good job. Give me 5, brother. Give me 5. Good deal, kid. You smoke him. You pounded that deer. Oh, that deer's going nowhere. Hey, I want a hug, brother. I want a hug. Check it out. What a great shot. Good job, Cameron. Good job. What are you going to say? Was that fun? Was that fun?
This hunting trip was very fun, and I think Mike McCain of Sportsman America, and I thank God for making this come true.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
And we got to get him a nice little 6-point buck. Everything just didn't work out for us. You know, we got home, the weather was terrible. Like I said, we didn't have any food plots to hunt over. And unfortunately, in my situation, you know, we're working around with some of the companies like TJD right now. TJD Fabrications have got me some tree stands. So now I've got an option. I can get back into the woods this year rather than having to hunt edges of food plots, because it limits you. It really does. You heard me right. Mike McCabe is going to be hunting out of his tree stand thanks to TJD Fabrications. Folks, this is a great new product on the market. This is going to innovate hunting for a lot of people, the disabled, the people that are too old to climb, people that have a problem with their leg probably or shoulder where they can't pull themselves up in a tree stand. This is going to innovate a lot of people's hunting, including mine. And I'm telling you something, if you have any kind of disability, or you just, let's just say you're a little bit too old to be climbing trees, this is the way to go.
The tip of the week is brought to you by Downwind Sense.
And I'm going to tell you exactly how to get set up for this year's whitetail season. What we're going to do is I'm going to take some of this Imperial Pure Traction. It has oats, it has winter peas, and it has a variety of brassicas, which means you can hunt it early season and you can hunt it late season. All you got to do is knock this ground up. If you don't have a tiller like that, get a set of discs, stick them on the back of your four-wheeler. That's all you need. All you got to do is break the ground up. That's all it takes, folks. It ain't much, but it's going to give you a food plot. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to seed this little piece of ground. It's another food source. It's another food plot, and it's an option in your arsenal of getting on a big buck, because this right here is where it begins. Early season, getting food plots in. This is the make or break of a good season.
Downwind Sense Big Game Foam Attractants, rising above all others. Mike starts hitting the food plots hard right after this. Welcome back. Mike is in Ohio, on the lookout for a big buck.
You know, after Cameron's hunt was done and he'd headed home with his brother, I started really hunting seriously myself. And it wasn't long before I got on a buck that we had seen the previous year, and he had absolutely blown up.
Sick. You ain't gonna believe this. I just put the horns together. He turned around and he took off.
He was a narrow rack, not super wide, but he had 12 points, and boy, he had a row of tines. That's the buck I'm after. I had to go out by myself one night. My son Luke couldn't come out with me, and I loaded up everything. I got in one of the ground blinds. I saw a really, really good 8-point, and he comes out in the field. I look at him, he's one of these unique animals. I've never shot a buck that stood that tall on his head before. And I kept saying to myself, I said, don't you come over here. Don't you dare come over here. Because he was one of those kind of bucks that I really would have shot. But all I kept seeing was this big 12-point in the back of my head. And don't you know, he walked right over to where we was at. There was feeding in a food plot. They were right in front of me. I filmed that buck for 20 minutes. He gave me most probably 8 or 9 really good shots. I never picked my bow up. And it was the mistake. You know, when everybody says, God, I hope I don't regret that, I regretted that. I let this buck go. I found a shed to his right side, which was his weakest side. I scored it, doubled it, give it 17 inches. This buck made 156 as an 8-point. Great deer. Should have shot him. Everybody was getting on to me for not doing it. But you know, there's a lesson in this. If I would have shot him, there'd have been a good chance I would have seen that big 12. So what do? I've learned that lesson before. I decided I wasn't going to shoot him. About 2 weeks after that, I saw another real good buck, and he was a mature, maybe a 5.5, 6.5-year-old deer, and he had trash on him. and I never really did get him close enough. But one night, he came in, and it was getting dark, and he made it closer and closer. I'd call to him, I'd rattle, I'd grunt, I'd bleat, do everything I could, and I called him closer and closer. And right at the last minute, I had a couple of does walk in front of me, and they took that buck out of the picture. I mean, he was coming, saw those does, followed those does out of it. So that was a little bit unlucky. I would have shot that buck. He had non-typical points. He had about 5, 6 non-typical points on one side and just one on the other, but he had a lot of mass and an older deer. He was definitely a shooter. I ended up eating one of my tags, but it was still a good hunt.
Mike's down for the season, but let's see how his son Luke did. Luke McCabe is ready to go hit the bucks.
It's the second and last day of the season. We got deer over here. There's 2 or 3 deer right here. We're gonna end up bumping them out, but it's still early. It's only 3 o'clock.
I had 2 days left to hunt, and it was down to the wire. But I've had a history of having some luck towards the end of the year, so I was going to give it a shot and see what happened.
Look at this. We're February 5th, and we know they're starting to drop their horns, but that's crazy. Going into the stand, finding a shed. It's early season shed hunting. Let's go in and see what we can do. See, our blind is caved in. We just got a big ice storm. They said it hit 25 states nationwide, and it caused a mess. I mean, trees down, so we're gonna have to set our blind back up. It's a mess. Getting set up ready. But it's late season, man. If you can get in the food plots, you can have some luck, so we'll see what happens. My dad's at Harrisburg, Pennsylvania at the big trade show. He's his first year, he's not killed a buck in 25 years. So, worst ways out, maybe I'll have some luck. Got some movement out in these woods here. So, a couple little bucks.
I was a little concerned because every deer that came into the food plot was crossing over the food plot like it had a mission to go somewhere else. We've seen probably about 15 deer, and not one of them stopped in the food plot to eat. You know, as those deer passed over, it wasn't shortly after, and I look up and lo and behold, here he came. You know, Dad had been hunting for 30 plus days and not seen one decent buck, and I've been in there one day and boom, it happened.
Looks like a good buck. That's a good buck. Get ready, that's a nice buck. He's coming in, he's coming in, get ready, he's coming in.
As he turns, I know this is my shot. You know, he gave me a great quarter and away shot, and this was it.
I can't believe this. Second to the last day of the season, and I just nailed a great buck. Oh man. My dad's been hunting nonstop, man, through this bad weather. We got all this snow and ice, and he just hadn't been seeing a lot of deer, just no shooters. And wow, I come out. I had 2 days left to hunt for this weekend, and it was about 5 o'clock, and I just took me a great buck. Sportsman North America, baby. Yes. we're picking up pretty good blood now, so I'm pretty confident we're gonna find him. So let's keep looking. Looky right there, buddy. We got him, baby. We got him. Look at this. Got freaking snow everywhere. Ice everywhere. Look at this hog, baby. Second to the last day of the season. Unbelievable. He came in at 5 o'clock, and we had tons of deer movement. We had deer when we came in. We found a shed. Unbelievable. Man, what a buck. Second to last day of the season, and we got it done. Wow.
You know, this season I thought I was going to go without killing a buck, but persistence does pay off. Now my dad, on the other hand, you know, he's persistent, but sometimes you just don't have the luck. He got to eat the tag sandwich this year.
Folks, if you're looking to do a hunt like this, go to sportsmanna.com for all the details. We give a hunt away every single week, 52 weeks a year. Sportsman of North America is your ticket to the outdoors.
Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed our 2010 Ohio season. Congratulations to my son, Luke, and to Cameron Taylor for shooting his first buck ever. Congratulations, little man.
Thanks for watching Sportsman of North America. Go to www.sportsmanna.com to catch all the episodes you missed. Don't forget, Sportsman of North America Hunt Club gives away a free hunt each and every week. For an online social community for hunting and outdoors, where you can meet other hunters and share photos, videos, and hunting tips, sportsmanna.com is the new destination for you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Sportsman of North America, your ticket to the outdoors. We're changing lives one hunt at a time.
Closed captioning provided by Hunter Safety System. Don't let your next hunt be your last.
This has been a Sportsman Video production.